Welcome and good morning. Happy Saturday to everyone. It's the Saturday after Thanksgiving. We're running the American flag in honor of the American Thanksgiving. So welcome everybody. This is Gran Turismo 7 and Sim Racing. This is the 2025 GT7 Championship, and it all comes down to this. This is the most important race of the year for me. This is the biggest or the hugest race of the year. So after an entire season of intense battles, strategy, gambles, and razor-thin margins, everything is on the line at Dragon Trail. We're only the top four or five racers are only 5 points away from each other. So in the amateur league and the pro league is just as tight. We'll all be racing together. So get ready, listen up. This is going to be one of the most technical and punishing circuits in Gran Turismo 7, and it's the most important race of the year. We could finish first in our group, or we could finish last because razor-thin margins. Top 4 or 5 racers, only 9 points apart. So in this finale, I'm taking the Porsche 911, the GT3 or GR3 if you prefer, into a full pressure race when one mistake at the chicane of death can end the entire championship. Expect max focus driving, deep strategy, and real racing intensity from the start. I might be talking a little less in this one, so let's get some of the talking done now and talk about strategy. So in this video, we're going to be talking about the race prior and somewhat during, a little less than usual. I'm going to break down how to properly set up your car for Dragon Trail. Best balance, we don't have to worry about the suspension balance. We're on BOP, so the cars are all put at the same weight and whatnot, so we can't do much in regards to transmission ratios or suspension balance. Mind you, this doesn't have wild straightaways other than the one long straightaway going across the start-finish line. So normally we'd have a shorter ratio on the transmission. Aero, we'd want a lot of downforce because we've got a lot of high-speed turns that you don't want to slide off the track. There's a section we're going to be pedal to the metal in 4th gear through 2 turns, so you want lots of aero on the car, but it's already set up with BOP. Everything gets set up. We can't play around with that. So if you want to improve in GT7, this is the perfect real-world breakdown of how to extract speed while keeping the car alive under pressure. So listen up. If you can play around with your downforce, get as much downforce on the car as you want, and don't be at the complete lowest transmission ratio, but definitely nowhere near the top. You want to just be, about a fourth of the way up the transmission ratio, so you can, have a little bit of speed for that, but it's all about quickness of gear shifts in between all these turn after turn, high intensity action track. Now, for the 911, brake balance earlier on in the race, +1 is going to be a very good option, especially for the 911. This is going to give us rotation without instability, perfect for opening up for the first few laps when the tires are fresh and grip is high. Why does 1 work really well? Well, it helps the 911 rotate. You could also go for +2, helps the vehicle rotate naturally into the tight right-hand corners. It allows later braking into turn 1 and the downhill hairpin. And it keeps the front tires cooler during the early chaos laps. Now, 2, listen up. Mid-race adjustment. I suggest we're going to be racing for 40 minutes, so mid-race. So lap 3, between laps 3 and 7, since it's a 40-minute race, it's going to be more around lap 7. Tire wear is going to be going up, actually, because if we start on softs, mediums, lap 6, soft tires, lap 3, you want to add 1 point to your brake balance. So if you're running 1, run 2. If you're running 2, run 3. And that's because, if we want to start, the tires are wearing down. If the car does feel loose on corner entry, go to 0. This gives more front braking for stability when the rear tires begin to fade. If the front tires are overheating or the car starts to understeer, go to +2. This restores rotation, helps maintain mid-corner agility. So Dragon Trail it punishes understeer, so +2 is often the fastest long-running setting for the 911. So if you want to hit it and quit it, hit it and quit it, listen up, just do +2 the whole race. That's going to be your safe bet. Now, final laps, or when your tires, whatever tires you're going to run, or when they're really low, you're going to want to be running 0 or -1. But 911 uses up front tires a little bit more, so I'm not too sure about this strategy. We might try it out here, but we want maximum stability for the downhill braking zones. The rear tires are usually the first to lose traction in the Porsche, so the chicane of death becomes far more risky when the rear is light. So use 0 for balanced braking, use -1 if you're defending or under heavy pressure. This gives you the safest car for the most dangerous stage of the race. Now, of course, if you're running on wheel, you should have an adjustment that you can adjust throughout the race, because there is one major trail braking corner. The last turn of the race is a major trail breaker. Before you get to the long straight and the start-stop finishing line, ideally you put it up to like +4 for that section, just so you can, last minute brake and then brake all the way to the apex and take off. But I don't have that adjustment. That would be my best advice. So nice little quick summary of all this. Laps 1 to 3, +1 for rotation and later braking. Laps 3 to 7, 0 if loose, +2 if understeering, and final laps 0 for stability, or -1 if you need safety / defending. If you need a little more safety for defending. So here, the chicane of death we want to avoid, really important. Listen up. Chicane of death. Avoid heavy trail braking here. Avoid heavy trail braking here. So important, I said it twice. You want the car straight. If you're unstable at entry, move to one click forward. So if we're at +2, we'll go to +1. Downhill braking to the right-hand hairpin. A small shift toward the front helps massively for stability. So if you can adjust it, if you're running, +1 or +2, kick it down to, let's say, 0. So that's my major tips for this race. Now, I'd love it if you all could do me a favor. Hit like, subscribe. That was the best advice I could give for this race. Now let's get into the race. I got to listen to Super Doofus, our general manager here, saying, Johnny, what's going on? Hit that green check mark. Furthermore, I got to ask the group here, what tire setup is suggested? I'm thinking if we go mediums, we could do less pits, far less, because 40 minutes is, we're doing what, if we're really on the ball, like 140 for laps, or is it going to be 130? I can't quite remember. But either way, let's say we average them out, let's exaggerate a little and say 2 minutes a lap. We're going to have about 25 laps here. So if we're on softs, we're going to have to swap every 5 laps. And if we're on mediums, we can probably swap every 7 or 8. Oh, going to change my oil, be right back. Okay, someone might miss out. Cheers, folks. It's Saturday, and I'm glad to be spending it with you for this intense championship race. I guess no practice on the qualifier for this guy because I wanted to put the YouTube community first. Cover all the essentials, but I did do 10 minutes in the Jaguar practicing here, so let's see +2 how this is going to feel. Get the coffee right over there, hope it doesn't come down. You guys keep an eye on that. You see that coffee about to spill all over the pedals? That cost a fortune. Let me know. We'll qualify obviously on the softs, but I'm tempted to run the race. Very tempted to run the race. This feels so much better than the Jaguar. Very tempted to run the race on mediums as a happy medium. I think hards will put me too far behind every lap. Second for taking off there, so there's no over rotation. Coast, remember, smooth driving. Doesn't look fast, but it is fast. It makes for fast laps. Doesn't feel fast. Same thing with early braking, so that you can hit that apex and be an apex predator. Doesn't look fast, but that's the way to drive quickly. Top the candies here. Ease into first. Ease into the accelerator while in first gear. Most cars won't accept that. They'll spin right out in first, but the 911 has a usable first gear. Now remember, no trail braking here. Ooh, 110. That's 15 miles per hour, too slow. My top speed through there is 127. So practice, even when you know what to do, practice makes perfect. And once you get it just right, you got to come back and get it just right again. It's not a forever skill here. So yeah, 140 would be a top time. Hey Daniel, welcome. Official qualifying lap going down right here. Let go of the pedal if you see your nose is in the direction of going off track. Of course, if you're on the brakes or on the accelerator, you're going to have less or no steering capabilities. Let's see if we get the type of traction we've been getting lately at night with 20 to 25 viewers. Full throttle through here in the uphill section of the track. It's roughly the middle of the track. The midpoint. First for rotation, but we'll get into second pretty early so we can throttle down. Ooh, 118. That is still slow. That won't be good enough to race with these legends. Ooh, that's a nice grabbing of the apex. You gotta grab the apex by its candy cane and then throttle on down. 140.8. I'm happy with that. Can we get into the 130s? We can if we get the chicane. Can still save a second going through that chicane 7 miles per hour faster. Nice to have a good amount of qualifying time here. Ooh, that's much quicker than before. Just getting back used to the 911, I'd say now after those Jaguar laps. +2, feeling very right for this car and the current tire wear situation. And we get to see that 2 laps takes a quarter of a tank. 2, 4, 6, 8. So we could, gas and medium tires will line up nicely. Oh yeah, we're getting into the 130s if we can, even without getting the chicane just right. And there we got it all wrong, down to 108 miles per hour. Almost 20 miles per hour off speed of where we need to be. We'll get passed or rammed if we do it that way. We came out at the right spot on the marker, but that was not smooth, so not all that fast. Probably a slower lap. Yeah, 141. I guess I still need a little bit of this go juice. Hopefully during the championship race. I need to not have this go juice hit me hard. I need to be able to survive this race here without having to run to the bathroom. There's no pilot change here. No teammate who can take over. Whew. All right, so it looks like we're up 2.2 seconds. So Seb is a very quick B here, and Miley Jansen, I thought he was in the Pro League because we got the JCCR Championship League. It's on Sim League Pro. You can see our points right there. You can join in and become one of the racers in next year's championship for the 2026 championship. But Mill Janssen is really, really quick. Last week, I was sure he was one of the pro drivers. Maybe he'll be pro for next year, because some of these bees are really quick bees. Forza Canada is quick as well. And we're missing out here on Super Doofus, so I'm not sure where Super Doofus is. Whew, 2.2 seconds slower than lead. My goodness, that'll still start us in 5th. Okay, could be worse. Could be worse. And we've got Thor and Rowiki, and they're not showing up because they're not to race in 5-minute break. All right, Super Doofus, thank you for calling that. Instead of doing practice laps, I think I better finish my Go Juice and then go. Oh man, it is going to be hard. This is going to be pretty intense, folks. Where the top 5 racers are only 9 points apart. I could finish first in the championship, but we're 2.2 seconds behind. That is huge. Seb Cockrow running 2.2 seconds faster. Milhe Janssen behind him, I believe from Sweden or Denmark. No, I don't think it's Denmark. I thought their flag has red in it. I think that's the Swedish flag. Swedish or Switzerland? Maybe Denmark. I can't remember my European flags. It's going to be close, super close with Remy and Sir Badger and Forza Canada and RSR Neighbor. Let me run upstairs because the Go Juice is making me go. Pit stop time. I'll be right back in 2 to 3 minutes. All right, I am back, and it looks like the race is already started. That's not too good. My goodness. All right, we missed. Thought we had a 5-minute break. Maybe I calculated that wrong. But this will start us out in last. So let's see what we can make happen. So if my car took anyone off the track, folks, I'm sorry, that wasn't me driving. It was, I guess, the computer driving. We had a Ricky Rez Racer. We had a 2-minute and 6 lap there. Pretty slow one. All right, we are 32 seconds behind first. Not a great start to the race. So I guess if you're sim racing or racing in the real world, bit of advice, go to the bathroom first. It's the magical Go Juice made me unfortunately go to the bathroom. Prince Doofus, no worries at all. It's I miscalculated how long it takes to go to the bathroom. I saw the 5-minute warning go up. I spoke for maybe a minute, then ran upstairs. But clearly, I can't calculate how long it takes for me to evacuate the Go Juice. Just like we need to calculate how long it takes to fill up your tank of gas when you go into the pits. Good to know in advance. How long does it take to go from empty to full? Because near the end of the race, you really want to know, do you really need to do a full tank? Is it worth, you can play out that risk? And of course, on these 40 minutes races, you can also choose to go on hard tires and put the air to fuel ratio to 6 and endurance race it and try to hit the pits once or even twice less than those that are going to run fast on softs the whole time. And when the top of the pack is 2.5 seconds faster than you are, that can be a winning strategy right there. Just run the hard tires, end up being 4 or 5 seconds slower, and try to pit 2 times less over the 40 minutes. You could come out on top. Alright, so these tires are wearing pretty fast. I'm going to slam on. Ooh, they're wearing a little faster than the fuel consumption, so I think mediums are going to be perfect. If we go to hards, we could. We're going to pit overall probably 2 times less over the whole race, but we'll need to run the power ratio at 6, because right now at 1, the fuel ratio at 1 makes it so that the fuel runs out probably perfectly with when mediums need to be switched. Because by the time this fuel's done, the soft tires, I believe, will have been long gone. Can go through here in 4th the whole way. Now we need to be throttle on, pedal to the metal the whole way through the uphill section, and that's how we get through there in a properly quick manner. Ooh, Remy, my main competitor for this race, 11 seconds ahead. That's going to be hard to come back from. Well, me not being actually in the seat at the beginning of the race, and then clearly the car must have hit the wall so hard that the computer shot us into automatic driving mode, which is also a pretty slow drive mode. But we started about 30 seconds slower than the top of the pack. It's like we had one major crash during the race. So if we don't have a major crash during the race, it'll work out to having had one major crash. Nothing too serious. Daniel, thank you for confirming my suspicion, my assumption. Obviously, assumptions aren't facts, and when we have assumptions, we shouldn't treat them as facts, and we shouldn't treat our opinions as facts. Of course, our opinions should be based on gathered facts, but always, it's so important in life, have an open mind and be willing to change your opinion based on changing facts. And that's what's great about free speech and discourse. So important to have discourse with individuals that is mature, with no logical fallacies, no attacking the person because you think that somehow wins your argument. Ha! The pit crew members saw the disaster. Thank you so much, Daniel. Love the pit crew there. Major help from the pit crew. The JCCR Racing pit crew actually has made us go from an E racer to, when we had regular coaching coming in from Dano and Dev, we actually made it up to racing with B racers. We weren't in the B, but we raced against the most dangerous drivers in the B League, and we came very close to being labeled a B. And now I think a little less coaching. Most people come for the YouTube versus subscriber races. As a result, with less coaching, I've sunk down to a very fast D, which means I wasn't going to be competing with Malhe Jansen, which is rated B, but I think speed-wise, he's actually more an A. His lap time here, I think, shows that he's more an A racer. Seb Cockrow, more an A racer as well. RSR, I'd say, is a very fast B. If you go too much on that apex, on the inside of that first turn apex, you're going to lose control because there's an elevation drop off, a serious one at that. That is how we go through that corner quickly. Here, I think second, first maybe for rotation. First, certain cars you'll fly through there in second. The important thing is we are catching up to Remy, so that is a good sign. You can see the tires gripping less, starting to slide across the track despite a very similar line to the other laps. We're on lap 6. These tires are ready to be switched. Last minute braking there. Most cars you will not want to take off in first. You will have issues if you take off in first. For most cars, you'll spin out, slide out. Now this is about the speed we need to go through here. Oh, we went in at 128, but going through, I had to let off the pedal. We just didn't have... Yeah, the 911 does have built-in slide, and the chicane of death is a dangerous place to be sliding. All right, let's get mediums on. Probably run mediums the rest of the race. Chris J, welcome! So no choice to do the hards. I didn't notice a choice for doing the hards, because the hards we could definitely, even maybe fuel ratio at 3, and maybe get through, ideally your tires are due and you're just about out of fuel, so you're really maximizing time on track. The less times you pit, the better, especially if you're racing against individuals who are 2.5 seconds faster per lap than you. 10 laps, 25 seconds. So it's about if I pit every time, if I get one pit less in, it makes up for about almost 15 slower laps. All right, looks like Remy pitted as well, because we still have that 4.4 second difference between us. This is perfect. Oh, there we go. That's how we want to catch that apex right there. And these mediums feel great. Ha! Daniel, I do hope you got that last lug nut on. Now the question is, would these be full-out racing wheels with just one lug? Probably. So one per wheel. I have 3-piece wheels often have one lug per wheel, but then underneath that you've got the 5 bolts. So I had that on the Toyota MR2, but I sold them. They're all beaten up, and I sold them for $1,000 for the 4 because they were with pretty decent tires. because they were original JDM. Oh, and we got a chicane accident. And we pass ahead of Remy. Remy beat us last week. We were 1 point apart, and then after beating me last week, I think we're now about 9 points apart. So I need to beat him by more than one position here. I need to beat him. I need to find a way to catch up to Sir Badger, who's 31 seconds ahead. That's going to be tough. Maybe he started on mediums, and that's just a pit. We'll find out soon. I haven't been watching the chart. You got to keep your eye on the prize in life. Keep your eye on the path. Find the path, know the path, well, really pick your path. It's good to take time to decide what path in life you want to follow. Be open-minded and willing and ready to switch it, not because of difficulties, because if you find it just doesn't suit you. Difficulties are going to be part of anything that's worthwhile doing. Struggle, learn to love the struggle, because anything worth doing is going to make you struggle. Just like this racing, boy do I ever struggle with racing, with sim racing. But we're getting better through perseverance and discipline. Don't count on motivation, it will not be there every day, even if you're doing the thing at one time you love the most. Yes, Daniel's going to be joining for us next season, fantastic. I am Canadian by birth and a Canadian citizen. I was in the Canadian Armed Forces, and so I'm very, very much pro-Canada. My ancestors came from, in my family, came from the United States. They came up a little over 200 years ago. But from my family line, there was it's a family line where there was one that was a governor of one state, and also another of my family name who was also a governor of another state. Apparently all the we're all related. It's two brothers that came from England, and all the Page family name here, they're all connected because there never was any other immigration. Daniel, thank you very much for your service. I think it's a great place to learn discipline, strength, perseverance, and the confidence that you can take on anything. It's just a matter of learning and practicing. Oh no! So in times like this, don't hit the brakes, don't hit the gas. Just coast through and steer. Now, that's all about dangerous driving, what to do in the worst possible conditions. And I've got a video out for that, folks. Check it out over at Johnny's Car Care and Reviews. We'll quickly show you the damage on the family truck, our long-term review of the 2025 Ford F-150 Tremor, which we have loved, and it was incredible taking a hit and keeping us safe. But check out the video about how to drive in the worst possible conditions, as well as an explanation of drive modes over at Johnny's Car Care and Reviews. Oh yeah, Daniel, that is a great point. I need to focus on that section to not cut the grass. I drove it more like I was on soft tires, still not far from the perfect line, and there's Mille Janssen with a 138.8, and here I am struggling to keep a 140.4 on soft tires. We also don't want to go over, have most of our weight over that elevated turn there, the elevated apex back there, because that will lead to debalancing of the car and a guaranteed crash, near guarantee of a crash. So we're going to need third there, I think, for proper rotation. And it's going to be hard to go flat out. That means pedal to the metal, the accelerator all the way to the floor for this uphill, pre-uphill section and the uphill section, because we're on mediums and they're starting to get used. Ooh, very late braking there. We can see we're following the late breakers lines, whereas the ideal lines are right to our right. There we go. We're getting a little faster through there, but my fastest speed's on soft tires. Of course, we're on mediums now, but I have been through there at 127 miles per hour, and that's gold standard. Right now, we're running a solid bronze or a slow silver speed through there. So slow amateur to fast amateur speed. Oh, and Remy is caught up with the errors we made through the chicane. Slide like a pro. Yeah, absolutely, Daniel. Oh, we went through there beautifully. There's that elevated curve. You don't want to have your majority of your weight on the other side, because it'll completely destabilize the car. Oh, is that good enough to keep Remy off of us? Oh, he is sticking to us like glue. Oh, there we go. We just have to get a whole lot of that apex to be able to go through here flat out and forth. Really got to catch these apexes. There maybe a little more, we need a little more faith and stay on throttle. That's going to keep Remy off of us for at least a moment. Here you gotta really accelerate coming out of that turn. You can't just wait for the turn to be done to get back on throttle. You have to, I call that faith throttle. Oh, they're not bad. 116, we're moving the speed up. Because 110 and we're guaranteed to get passed by Remy, and he's our main competitor. So is Forza and Sir Badger. We're really 9 points apart. And it's to decide who's going to finish first for the season. Oh, I thought I heard Remy flying by. I guess that was the helicopter coming in through my right earphone. But we are really bringing down the time on Forza Canada. We were, what, like 38 seconds behind, and now we're 21 seconds behind? Don't want to catch too much of that inside or that inside as well. Both will spin us out. Don't want to go on the other side of that elevated apex, that triangular pyramid of death. Oh, we're sliding. Here we go. In first. We'll take off in second. 911, we could have done about a half second in first there for optimizing our speed. Every other car, we need to be in second for that takeoff section. Ooh, we've been very slow through there, losing a lot of time because the tires are starting to slide. Mediums are getting a little loose, but this is where we'll divide the boys from the men, because if you don't adapt, just like in life, if you don't adapt to changing conditions, you get stuck where you are, or you slide out and crash. There, this would be the proper speed to go through. Much better. We ended up going through. We briefly went down to 116, but we saw we're in that turn at 120. We still got 7 miles per hour to squeeze out if we get back on the softs. But I'm really not sure about that strategy, about getting back on the softs. Let me know in the comments what you think our tire strategy needs to be here. Here we've used a half tank, and the mediums still have, I don't know if they have I think we'll run out of tire before we run out of fuel, even on the mediums. So if we can choose hards, we could throw on some hards. That's the danger zone right there. The other side of that line is absolutely the danger zone. Okay, so we can actually get a quarter to a half second out of first gear with the 911. Most other cars, you'll slide out and go eat wall. You even had to touch the brakes there, otherwise we were going off track. And if I would have been hard on the brakes, we would have gone off track anyways. No braking, we would have gone off track. So the happy thing that right move is to just get your foot in on about 1/10 of the pedal there, just real quick, flutter braking. All right, Forza Canada, we're not bringing down the time fast enough on Forza. Oh yes, we got through in the 120s. This is good. We needed, I guess, 13 laps of practice before the championship race and make it on time for the start of the race. It won't be the first time that we could say that my rear has cost me dear. I should have known better than to drink the Go Juice. Ooh, that was playing with fire there. That'll slow us down a little. I ate a little bit too much of the apex there. But we've got good distance now on Remy. Remy might have caught a bit of wall coming out of the chicane there. Forza Canada, ooh, we can see Forza is faster. We were down to 20.9 seconds difference, but now he's up 2 seconds. See, if we would have been on the throttle too early there when the tire was off track with no traction, the tire would have spun, started spinning, then when it would have gotten back on the asphalt, it would have all of a sudden gripped, and that would have been a spin-out crash situation. So we are adapting the racing to the tire wear and correcting for, you know, not adapting quite enough. Went through there slower, running a bit of a safety lap, you could say. All right, the hards are good for 1.5 tanks of fuel, so I like the idea of going to the hards for this. And go hards, they'll last the whole fuel tank. But the mediums are going to be pretty good, actually, because the mediums, without lowering the power to the car, we're going to get 2 more laps and then we're in a pit, and the tires are good for 2 more laps. Gotta watch out, gotta focus in on what's directly ahead of us. Just like in life, focus on the path and put a little bit of work towards the path that you choose for yourself. The good path, hopefully it's about doing good in the world, being kind to others, and especially being kind to yourself in how you speak to yourself, because as Ronan says often, sharing wisdom that's been around for thousands of years, but far too often ignored or even propaganda against it. But neuroscience backs it up, and that is, what you think is what you become. Had to let go there just to make sure we didn't go off track. Bit of an early shift into 5th. There's that downhill section that you'll be benefiting if you're running -1 or 0 on the brake balance. Ideally, I would switch up one of my scrolls instead of having the cameras to the sides that I never use. That'd be brake balance and fuel ratio adapted there. Not usually going to touch the brakes whatsoever, but just a feather touch on the brakes just to make sure I got the nose in the right direction. Forza Canada still climbing up the time against us. All right, I believe this is going to be the last lap with the mediums. I'm wondering, we're not using 1/4 of a tank per lap. We're using 1/8. I'm wondering, do we have 2 laps of fuel left? If so, these tires and my adjustments can handle it. I don't think we're going to crash out doing an extra lap. What kind of laps are we doing here on the mediums? 143, 144, 142. We even did a lap with a 141. That is a quick medium tire lap. Must have been the lap I went through the chicane in the 120s. Still far from Mille Jansen's 138.8. Yeah, actually, switching up, that would be an interesting strategy. You go mediums for the front and softs for the rear, because we can see... Okay, Dano would run these tires a few more laps. Fantastic. Thank you, Dano. Got to let go of the brakes at some point if you actually want to get the required turning out of the front end. Yeah, we can see 1 lap is not quite an eighth of a tank, so we definitely have 1 more lap out of these, at least. There we go, we got through in the 120s. This should be a good lap. Despite the tire work, we're hanging on here. Try to use all our fuel, absolutely. Thank you, Dano. In a 40-minute race, that can be very much the difference between 1 or even 2 having to pit once or even twice more. 11:36 of the race left. We missed the first almost 4 minutes because of my darn Go Juice. The bowel activators. Full throttle through here when you can. Ooh, that was nice and quick through there. I'm happy with that. Not into the 33s, which I need to be. That'd be more gold speed. Oh, we're not getting the same traction through here as we were. Now, how many minutes? Can I go back on the softs based on how many minutes are left in the race? What do we, yeah, we gotta, I think we have to pit here. Let me know, Dano, as we get close to the pits, if we can squeeze out 1 last lap so we can throw on the softs, or if it's, the softs won't last anyways and we should just grab another set of fresher mediums. Oh, we can see someone's going off the softs at the top of the pack there. All right, oh, we're in the red. I think we'll pit. Be pretty risky to try to get an extra lap out of this. Yeah, there we go. We should use softs according to Dano, so let's do that. Let's avoid going through there slowly to avoid the penalty for crossing the line here. And softs. Let's do it, and let's definitely refuel. We wouldn't even make it back around. Well, we would, if we accidentally hit that don't refuel button, we would then put the fuel ratio to 6 and crawl back into the pits. Oh, Remy is now ahead of us. The question is he already on his last set of tires, and has he made his last pit? I have a feeling Sir Badger's in the pits because Remy passed him, and he had been about stop duration costing us about 35 seconds total with the time in and time out at slower speeds. Oh, too much fuel. Thank you very much, Dano. I wasn't thinking of that. You can clearly see him still very much an amateur racer, but that means I make important mistakes. That'll help everyone who's also an amateur, a rookie racer, learn and grow, and this channel is all about learning and growing together, growing the community, and letting the A and B racers coach and mentor us, because that is an important life skill. Daniel, thank you. That's right. We wanted a little more balance here for the weight. Except I'm not sure that is the fuel tank on the 911 in the front. It should be. It'd be great for weight balance. And we do fuel up the car in the front. I've done that enough times, having to drop in the 93 or 94. It's a minimum 93 octane in a Porsche 911, even though it's just a V6. They really like to play around and say, no, you're putting in 93 octane, and that's not because the engine's poorly designed or whatnot. It's just the programming they put. They squeeze every little bit of power that they can. Oh yeah, making it through at 122. Yeah, we've got more weight on the rear tires with the engine being in the back. Well, in the real world, the 911 engine's in the back. Here, they move it up forward for it to be a mid-engine. Now oh yes, we're going to get ahead of Remy, and that's what we needed. And Sir Badger, can we catch up? We got, ooh, that's not going to help. We've got 10.3 seconds behind Sir Badger, and we need to beat Sir Badger if we have a chance of finishing in first. I think we'd have to even beat RSR Neighbor. Neighbor 50 is very quick. The top three guys, I'd say, are maybe more pro league racers. Yeah, we got to push. We got a chance here on Sir Badger. We're climbing on up. Missed the apex there by a mile. We should have been able to go through there. Pedal to the metal, all in fourth the whole way. But at least we got the uphill climb correct. Fourth gear. Full throttle down action the whole way. Start braking at the top of the candies. Or actually we could have started a little later because we were able to lay off the throttle there for a moment. Made it through in the 120s. Keep playing it that way. We have a chance to catch up to Sir Badger. Sir Badger going in for his final pit for the tires. So we'll only be behind RSR Neighbor and Forza, who are also in the running to finish first in the Championship League for the 2025 Amateur Race League on JCCR Racing that you can catch over at Sim League Pro. You can become a racer, you can sign up, or you can just follow the points system. Now anything could happen here. We got 5 minutes of racing left, so let's not assume anything whatsoever. But I can say we calculated out about 30 seconds of issues because of my darn bathroom, my darn go juice, which means we would have maybe been in the running to race right behind Forza for the end of the race. That would have been interesting. But let's just push, go. We are on the softs. We got medium tire practice on the track, meaning we can go a little bit faster than we've been going and still be safe. Let's try to get into the 130s. I got into the 130s. Well, I think did I get a 139 just recently? Or no, that was Watkins that we finally got our top lap speed. We've been working away. Ooh, we got through at 125. If we do that for the last 4.5 minutes of the race, and if Forza hits that wall, we will maybe get a pass or really be competing, be right behind him, because a crash in the chicane would cost him 20 to 25 seconds. We'd be pretty darn close behind him. Almost looked like a car parked because of the black on that sign there at the end. Oh, the shade on the guardrail. Now to make sure we don't go on the other side of that elevated pyramid-shaped candy cane. Try to full throttle it through here, which we did perform. Ooh, RSR has a pit. Forza will very likely pass him then. Full throttle on the uphill here. Let's try to be apex predators so we can stay on throttle the whole time, have a little faith. There we go. And the pro race today, yes, Daniel, it is also today. We can catch Dano running his pro race right after this one. So first, just because we want to make sure we missed the apex by a mile there, so we're a little off. There we go, we're well into the 120s there. It's about 124. Having our best laps through the chicane, showing that if you got an important race coming up, put in the 15 laps of practice or more. Here we see I'm starting to get just right at lap 21. racing softs will definitely last. The fuel's gonna last. We did definitely put too much fuel. So it looks like we wasted probably 4 or 5 seconds there. Still not enough to be passing Forza Canada. At this point, the only way we're passing Forza Canada if he eats the chicane hard or if he runs out of fuel. Well, that would be quite unfortunate. I don't want to pass Forza that way, that he runs out of fuel on, you know, right before the last turn. Ooh, there, that's the line we want. That's the line we needed all race long. That's also the line. So it looks like the final lap will be the lap that I'm finally getting the track. Woo, just right. We took a fifth, we took about 20% off throttle there just to stay in. Using about 20% of the throttle in there. I'm not sure on the side what it shows out. I put the pedal down 20%, but maybe that gave us 50% throttle acceleration. Going slowly through there. Need to focus in. That was a little slow at 114, 115 miles per hour. Folks, check out Dano's YouTube channel, please. Let's all head over to Dano and let's toggle between Dano and Super Doofus. Dano's going to be racing. I think Super Doofus is going to be showing the live race, probably swapping in between racers. Let's make sure we do watch Dano, the Texas Ranger himself. I am curious what he's going to be running. Oh yes, well, it looks like we've got fifth, because even if we stop on the track, we've got Remy by 26 seconds. Let's get the little extra practice in there. There we go. There's the full throttle action. Oh, I guess we finished the lap. Oh my goodness. Okay, so no, we could not just park the car and rely on our 22nd, almost 27-second lead, now 27-second lead, because we need to cross the finish line. So this would be horrible if anyone runs out of gas at this point. So pro racers, take note. Don't run out of fuel. We had to complete the last lap. All right, comical me. Oh, we almost crashed trying to, I was like, I think I'm going to try it at 129. No, we still got to keep it safe. You can see that was a slow showing. Remy's shortened the gap there. Ooh, I like that line right there. Oh yes, I like the line there a lot, because we had lost time in the chicane versus Remy, but we regained it, and then a little bit more through the last turn of the race. Whew. All right, it says 1 lap. Did I get a penalty? Did I get a penalty for not being present the first almost 4 minutes? 3 minutes and 37 seconds? Because Sosa says 2 laps. I'm not sure what oh, I'm probably 1 lap behind first place. Whew. Spicy. That was a good race. It got me sweating here. All right. A lot of work trying to catch up. All right, let's see how this works out. The real final results. Whew, incredible race. Absolutely incredible. Fun. Thanks for the race, folks. Good race and well done. Everybody, fantastic, super clean, excellent. And hey, I'm sorry if anyone's like, hey, Johnny, first lap, you destroyed us, you took us out. It wasn't me, I wasn't here. Mile Jansen asking, can I race in pro? Mile, that's probably the right spot for you. And Seb Cockrow as well, and Thor probably. Remy, congratulations to you as well. We really had it for a while. I just could not catch up to you. Could not catch up to you at all. So let's check out these race results. We got Milhe Janssen. Top lap, 138.38, driving the Ferrari 458, and boy, does he ever know how to drive that well. What a driver. Seb Cockrow pulling a 138.47, also very, very fast. That is with the GTR Nismo GT3. We've got the Mercedes AMG, and I believe the only one on the track, being run by RSR Neighbor, running a 140.3. I'd say all the 140s and up, that's very like amateur league level. The 138.3s, I find that's getting into those pro speeds for, I think, maybe I'm wrong about this. Let me know in the comments section. We got Remy right behind us. So we had RSR Neighbor. We've got Forza Canada ahead of us with the GTR Nismo. I was running the 911. I am JCCR Johnny. And we've got Remy running the GR3 Supra Racing Concept. Well done, Remy. Fantastic racing with you. We got Sir Badger in 7th in the M6 GT3 Endurance Model 16. A fellow JCCR racing teammate. And we've got Sosa rocking out in the Beetle. Fantastic runs, guys. So our fastest laps, is that, oh no, they're showing our fastest laps. So RSR Neighbor running a very similar speed as Forza and myself. Remy, who's usually faster than me, ran a 141.6. So I think I've just had more coaching from, Dano and Dev on this track. Dano gave me a lot of coaching, especially shaved me like 2 seconds off overall, because I was originally really slow, but I was taking the last turn 2 seconds too slow, and I was often crashing or running extremely slow through the death chicane. So Dano, thank you very much, buddy. Dev, if you catch this video, also a huge thank you to the JCCR racing coaches. You've done great work making Lieutenant Slow not so slow on this race. It has been fantastic racing with you all. Thank you so much for the race. And thank you. It was a very fun race. Now let's do something. Listen, this is really important. Make sure you get this done. Let's go take care of this together, and make sure you take care of it on your sim racing car. Oh, Daniel, thank you very much for the reminder. Yes, please do smash that like button because you'll be making the doggies here really happy. And you'll also be helping our community grow. We'll get more traction. The algorithm will decide to suggest this, allow this video to exist, you could say, because it'll put it in a few more people's potential watch list. And the bigger this community gets, because when it gets thrown out, about 1 in 10 to 1 in 20 people will actually click on it. But the goal is to get the videos out. That'll help grow our community. With more racers comes more knowledge, and with more knowledge comes more power, and we all want more power, baby. Yes, we certainly do. Don't forget to change your oil. No, it's not all important to wash the car, but do make sure you get that oil changed, because it must have been starting to get a little rough. It was either normal or maybe a little below normal to wear. So oil, excellent. Make sure you got your body rigidity and your engine also on excellent. Knowledge is power, and that was a fantastic game on the PlayStation 4. Let's finish up with one last important tidbit of information for the racing community and life in general. All right, here it goes. Whether you're sim racing or whether you're trying to accomplish anything in life, there's a few really key, important takeaways, things to keep in mind, things to practice and do. First of all, you need to get to doing. In life, the most successful people have the same type of self-doubt than the least successful people. Some major differences, though. The most successful people will get to doing. They're not going to wait until they're certain they can do it perfectly. They're not going to wait until they're motivated to do it or feel like, they can do it without embarrassment. So, at least, maybe not perfectly, but at least very well. Most successful people aren't afraid of embarrassment, and they just go and get it done, know that they will make mistakes, know that they're going to be far from perfect, but learn from those mistakes. And that's why in many cases, the best entrepreneurs in general, and the best ones as well, weren't A-plus students in high school, college, and university. They were often, C or B students. They weren't afraid to just give it a try. And you got to be willing to give it a try, and you need to be able to do so when you're not just motivated. If you sit around and wait for the motivation to do it, it's when everything aligns perfectly in your mind, which means you're going to feel like it. You're also going to be in a position where you feel like you'll do a good enough job, that you won't have to endure any embarrassment, which means often you just won't do it because that moment just won't happen. And to get to that place, you also need to speak very kindly to yourself. Speak positively to yourself. Tell yourself you can do it and that you will make mistakes and that you will learn from those mistakes, but that you can do it and it's good for you. So make sure you start to get comfortable getting out of your comfort zone. The comfort zone is the stagnation zone. It's the no growth zone for the most part, or very, very, very slow growth, very small incremental growth, which is okay as long as you're growing. And it's okay if your growth is incremental, if you're nonetheless getting yourself out of your comfort zone, getting yourself to get accustomed to being embarrassed. I used to not be able to public speak at all. It was a huge fear of mine, and I started YouTube to make sure that I could start public speaking because I know how important it is for, greater success in life, for accomplishing things that are more worth your while. Because no, not everything, money doesn't bring you happiness, but having added skill sets brings, a bit of pride, a bit of sense of accomplishment, a good feeling, just to put it very general. And also, as you stack these skills together, you're going to be in a better position that if the opportunity comes to do something an opportunity comes along that, brings a great deal of, greater wealth, which means if you have greater wealth, usually you have generally access to greater health and well-being, because, better to be wealthy and unhappy than to be poor and unhappy. And having some wealth and some skill sets, the greater your skill set, the less stress you're going to feel when trying to accomplish things. So I wish you all greater success. I hope that you all will get into the growth mindset and start getting into that, start doing things that make you a little uncomfortable or even sometimes pretty uncomfortable. Of course, listen to your gut feeling. If your gut feeling's telling you that something is dangerous, listen to your gut feeling. It is the second brain, mentioned very early on by early Greek philosophers. But do get outside of your comfort zone. Learn new skills. Don't be afraid. Live fearlessly, folks. Godspeed and God bless. I wish you all more cars and more power. Thank you so much for watching the championship race. And come Monday night, we should be able to tell you where we finished off in the league. Are we first, second, third? Did we fall into fourth? Are we fifth? Catch the final championship point results this coming Monday night or Tuesday night. We'll be racing at either 9 or 9:30 Eastern Time. I believe it's also called General Mountain Time Zone 5. And let's go join Pro Race on Super D's channel, and also be going in and out of Dano's so we can get that, first-person driver perspective. Get into Dano's YouTube channel as well. I'll see you there, folks. Take care. Godspeed and God bless.